Alright. Welcome back. Alright, cool. I think we're good. Hi, Zypher. Ziffer? Kazumi? Welcome. Welcome, everyone else. Alright, it's, I'm usually always a little rusty whenever I start, so now it's been 2 weeks, so, we'll see how it goes. Welcome. Hi, guys. Hi, Judd. Sorry. I apparently don't know how to talk today. Alright. welcome. Hi, Strap. Hello. And hi, Cookie. Okay. I'm doing good. It's just been... it's been a doozy. Trying to get back into swing of things, but, got the 3-day weekend, so I'm glad that you guys are here with me. I appreciate it. Thank you for spending your time with me. Hi, Luna. Ooh, Everfree was awesome. I was only there for like 4 or 5 hours, but I'll definitely talk about it. Probably talk about it more during toaster time. I think for now I just want to set things up and get the ball rolling so I can start working, and then talk about that when I have more undivided attention towards it, you know. But yeah, long story short, it was great. I had fun. Didn't do any panels, but just kind of walked around, and that was super fun. Right, Buttercup, welcome. I think music's almost ready to segue us in. do. Oh, early on, I gotta swap over. Okay, there we go. Alrighty. Hi, guys. I know it's been a hot minute since I streamed, but that had fairly good reasons. Welcome. Yeah, so I think you said was that it was I went to Everfree. I went Everfree on Saturday, and that was really fun. And Saturday also, coincidentally, was also my birthday, so yay. So that was a nice birthday present, was to do that. And then we had a traditional birthday on Sunday where we went to got the family together, had a nice classic birthday party. But yeah, Saturday was just all about the Everfree Northwest, which is in Seattle, Washington. So that was a nice pop in, like only took a certain amount of time to get there. So it was really fun. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Wait. Thank you. Yeah, that was last week. Thank you. Hi, Dakota. I think I answered that question, Jude, last week actually, or 2 weeks ago. And I think I did. Thank you. That's a creepy wave. You got it. Hello. Hi, Dakota, Zephyr. Ralphan, welcome. I'm doing great. Thank you. It's good to see you guys. I'm always really bad with other people's birthdays, so don't you worry. It's alright. Thank you. Appreciate it. Woo. Thank you. Man. Yeah, it was really fun. I think I got a book, and a couple cards. It's weird as you get older, you know, like I'm in my late 20s now. It's weird to think about, and I'm 27, so it's weird as you get older. Like I have somewhat reasonable amount of money that I could just buy my own presents now, and I guess you're not a cute kid anymore to demand toys from family. So it's kind of like, well, all the other family members are like, well, I don't know, buy it yourself kind of feeling. So I got to check. So it's like, that was nice. So I guess they're like, yeah, here's money to buy whatever you want. So that was really nice. But yeah, it was a pretty small, so like wasn't too bad. But how are we doing? Let me get the chat going. I forgot one thing. Oops. Just noticed. Let's get chat properties. Beep. There we go. All right. Yeah, see what you it's not automatic. I have to like manually go in and fix that. Oh well. You guys are all on the thing there. Anyway, I'll turn that down just a snack. Today is ripped out a title. Is making a 3D phone for Pipp. I want to do that so I can, because I was thinking of having a 2D phone and then have her hold it, but as a prop. But I was trying to go like through the Toon Boom method, and it would have been even more complicated than some of this noodle mess, where it's like, but I have to figure out and like mathematically on my own figure out the perspective of how the phone would look, and it's a block basically, and it's like the way to do that is just like as I wrap my brain around it, of like trying to figure out like what does that mean, of like do I make a mouse controller to like try to figure out how to get certain positions and then make poses and try to do a 3D thing with like multiple objects on it, and it's like I don't want to do that way. I was like, there's got to be a better way to figure that out. So I was like, well, what do I want? I want a block, you know. Let me get a draw. Beep 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 doo beep doo boop 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 doo. So I want a block, a regular square there, but I want it to be able to rotate in space, which means I need to figure out what the side of this is, as well as if I want the top, and then is there also like this back, and it's like each of these would have to be different shapes and different like objects like this, and then I have to like rotate that around in space, and it's like, does that mean that this pair gets bigger, and then does that mean this gets smaller, and then this, you can see like this is yeah, so it just got really confusing of just like imagining how that would work with like 2D objects in Toon Boom. And I was like, oh yeah, there's like 3D model capability. You can just import a 3D model and it works. So I was like, well, let's just do it, you know, let's just go to the third dimension. And let's just model a 3D phone and then see what we can go from there. Oh yeah, I gotta wear my protective eyeglasses. Check this out. Wow. I spent way too long on making that little transition. I think there's even like a thing inside of here. Yeah, there's even stereoscopy. We go into the camera mode. Yeah, check that out. You could have a 3D stereoscopy inside of Blender. They could, yeah, it'll render this as a picture, and then as a PNG or whatever, and then you can use your special glasses. Put on your 3D glasses now, and then you'll be able to see it. Turn that off. Oh, that's why I was like, there's an extra block here. See, there's a green box. I think that might be. Oh wow! Whoa, sorry. Kind of match that up. Wow, that's cool. But yeah, you can even take different pictures and it's like figure out how to like render only left one or like kind of lock it, multi-view. But yeah. So anyway, today is gonna be 3D modeling Pipp's phone. See if we can find a picture somewhere. Took a couple pictures. We'll see where that ends up. So here's the front view, side view, and back view. So I'm gonna have these pictures off to my side, so I can like refer to them. I could put them directly into the 3D environment, but I think that's just kind of a bit unnecessary. It'll seem like I'm too easy to copy it, so I'd rather just look at these pictures. These are from the video game. Someone uploaded and ripped all the 3D models of all the main characters from the Maritime Bay adventure, and so it just happened that the Pipp model also had all of her accessories, and so it also had the phone. So we'll See what we can do with that. How we're doing. This is G4 theme song, if you like it. I'm starting to get into like the beta versions of the songs, and the G4 theme song, the original one that Lauren Faust wrote and like as she performed was really sweet. I like that one version a little better. Cool. All right. So I know the meme is to delete the default cube, but I like it. I usually, use it, so I'm just gonna call this one phone, and then we'll go from here. Alrighty, so how you guys doing? We're gonna get all comfy here. I don't need a light though. I usually delete the light. I usually have in a Derpy movie. I usually have my 3D backgrounds are made in Blender, so I'm able to take advantage of literally putting all of my 2D assets, all my 2D animated assets, and put them into 3D environment, and then have them animated that way. And then just render it from Blender, because then everything's already composed and the 2D character is already in 3D space, so it works really well. But usually I use Fulbright lighting inside of Eevee, which has its own goods and bads. But usually I instead of a render lighting engine that's like makes it so that there's no so everything's lit evenly, or closer to this where it would just be white is how it's shaded. But yeah, the drawbacks is that then everything is evenly lit, as if there's a light hitting every single object from like every angle, and so there's no highlights and there's no shadows. So like when I was building some of the backgrounds, especially for chapter 7 now, the ones that I'm working on now, I'm realizing that because I don't have shadows, I had to like manually add in blocks of meshes that are like half opacity, and then put them as flat planes, and then put them around to like simulate shadows, even though in a 3D software is like I'm having to put these extra pieces in just so I can have a fake lighting sort of engine inside of it. But I'm able to extremely, control it and be creative with that, and say like, oh, well, this one might need a shadow, but this one not. Or like what kind of long shadow, and play with that. I just had a visual idea as I was doing this, as I was talking. And I think I might put that in. So let's go. All right. Let's see. Start from the top. Let me get some buttons here. Let's see. What do you like more, Derpy or muffins? What name? Oh. I've always liked Derpy. I mean, Derpy's seems like her more. I mean, it is practically her canon name, Welcome, Purple. But I guess it was Ditsy Do was probably like the prototype beta version of Derpy, because I think they were gonna use a Derpy model for like a winter wrap up. There's an unseen character that they talk about. It's a Ditsy Do. And it's like I feel like that's I feel like that should have took off a little bit more. I feel like that would have been less controversial, and especially that was the one in the show that they came up with. So I feel like that might have changed, the timeline, I guess, of of a lot of the events. I never really got muffins. I guess that's like, because like in whatever episode it was in season 1 where to get the baked goods or the baked bads, gotta inset this to get the screen. The big bads, it was like a crowd shot where like all the ponies were talking, and it just happened that like one soundbite kind of lip synced to Derpy talking, but they were all talking, so it's like, why isn't Lemon Bright also called Muffins? Because she said it, That's a little weird. Let's get to inset this a little bit. I'm gonna figure out. I feel like I might have not actually inserted this correctly. Hang on. Wait. Welcome. Sorry. Whoops. I feel like I forgot to touch this part. Look at that. That's cool. I can move my glasses. Let's see if this works. Is this one also connected? Oh, this one's not. All right. I'll use this one. I only put the glasses on today, so I didn't know that would happen. That's fun. What's up? Hi, Twinkles. Welcome. Doing good. What I want to do, I just want to make. Let's see. Yeah, I'm in no way a professional 3D artist. Most of this is just self-taught, you know. But I feel like I've gone a far way. Not sure. Happen again. I feel like some of these are not actually sure what's going on here. I'm gonna delete these faces and then see that something happened. I think we're good because that's the little inset shape here that I want. So that's good. Okay. Got the block. Yeah, her structural integrity is in the balance. Rarity voice actor also voices Derpy. Yeah, that's really fun. Let's see. So I'm going to. Is that a 6-sided? Yeah, let's go 8. Super small. We're gonna rotate it on the. It's the y-axis, z-axis. Maybe the. Uh-oh. It was the y-axis. Alright. Or maybe not. Let's do. Let's do this. I did scale. Let's do rotate y, x, x. Okay. And input numbers. Put that there. Okay. See why it takes a long while for these chapters to come out. It's because I'm flailing along and trying to figure out as I go along. Like each asset has to be individually sculpted, you know. So I got to kind of know what I'm supposed to, you know, what I'm doing, I guess, all the time. Gotta use this iron. Welcome to Toon. Wave Horse. It's also interesting that like Rebecca, who voices Sunset Shimmer, have to be really careful saying that. Was like the go-to voice for. Maybe I should fill it. Was a go-to voice for all of the songs, for like all of the musical songs. Like she would voice all the characters, even if she wasn't, you know, part of the regular story. But like Sunset would sing every song apparently. I thought that was really cool. This is the phone, because they're horses. You gotta have some way to actually hold on to the phone. So this is like a reverse pop socket kind of like thing, where like you put your sorry to. What's the annotate button? You never know how not prepared you are. Beep. Had to go into. Whoa. You never really know how like not prepared you are until you like start streaming. Beep. Because your arms need to, you know, kind of hold on to it. If it was just flat, then the whole phone would just kind of slip all the way down. So you need some sort of thing to like catch catch the hoof like that. So that's what this is for. And so I want to see what we got. And I did it as a separate object, because otherwise it would have been, well, it's actually the same object, but this is all one object, so it can be parented like that. But I used an extra mesh, so I didn't have to play with, that got loud, play with trying to like, lining these up so I can work on these. Let's try and smooth this out. Because the problem is that it's not going to be used in just 3D space. It has to work in 2D space. Because that's what this whole thing is going to be. Is that it's going to be used with the 2D version of Pipp. So we'll see if this works. It's very possible that this might, you know, somewhere in here might be not exactly fluid enough or like usable enough to actually, because it needs to fit into her 2D hand and kind of like cover it. So I'm just trying to like get a smoother gradient here. So I can kind of make a nicer line diagonal here. Kind of line these up. Okay, let me go back to my pictures. Okay, so that's what this side one was when I wanted this shape here. This is actually a texture, so it's actually not modeled. You could model it. Let's see. So I got the bevel. Alright, we gotta smooth these corners out. So let's do that. Okay. I think I was watching with my family, so I was like, I'm not gonna cry. I think I also explained like, and it really, I don't know. I think there's a bevel button, bevel edges. Oh, I think that actually worked. Yeah, look at that. Made a little extra beep beep. Something like that. There we go. We can set the amount. Set 0 and then 1. We can add more segments into it. I don't think this does much, and let's just edit it in. Wait, vertex group. Oh, we can set what profile. Oh, we can set a profile. So we just, we can add more. Add more shape to it. Oh, fun. Usually don't play with these. This is fun for me. So we can use this to get a nicer bevel around. Oh, you can see what I'm doing. There's like this shape gradient thing here, and I'm like kind of pulling the vector lines. The little push me, pull you. kind of shapes here. Just so I can get a nicer smoothie. Geometry. I don't think there's much. Hard and normals, maybe. Mark seam, mark index. Okay. If we add one more. So it does add more geometry, which this isn't as bad as the actual one that the Maritime Bay one actually has cross like 100 times more polygons. Like Ultra here, which is like which is like so much extra polygon information, which I guess is to help some maybe get the textures look smoother, is what I can only think of. But really, I try to go for like the minimum really amount of polygons. Not that it's like, it's not lazy to like, oh, it's you know, it's just kind of this shape, you know, you could have it be more, but I'm not going to, because it is like super easy to like add a subdivision. Let's see what that looks like. Maybe it needs to be opposite. Maybe it needs to subdivision and then whoop whoop. Let's look at that. Ooh. Whoa. Oh, that's cool. Okay. A lot of the time when I'm working, I'm usually it's mostly just trial and error. So it's not so much as like getting things done as much as what does this button do? Because there's so much to learn. And it's like I want to figure it out as I go along. I would have liked to make this a little smoother. Maybe we can do smooth, shade smooth. Probably help with how it's rendered here. And it's sort of like, it's beveling every edge, which is sort of nice, but it's definitely not necessary. Most of it again is going to be in the texture work, which probably should get going on that eventually soon. But I probably just want to go through and like maybe make this like I can add rings onto each of these. Oop. And then see what they do. Seems like somebody's get a little upset. That's interesting. Is that part of the... Oh, look at that. It rounds that bit out. It rounds the circle out, but then the box probably needs some seams or something to make it go like that. So I might not need these edges. So that's what I mean, like I'm testing it out and going like, does that work? No. What's another method, or like what's another way that I know how to do this, and then working from there. So I know that maybe maybe one of these. Like I had an idea, and then I definitely didn't press the right buttons there. And then see what they do. And go, nope. That's not what I wanted. Okay. What about? I think we're good. It'll just be slightly low polyed. Still probably want to even these out a little bit. See what these are. Okay. Whoop. playing around and seeing just about what I want to happen and then trying to make it happen. So the more smooth that I make this, I feel like the better shapes I'll get out of it. Okay. I think I'm pretty happy with that shape so far. And all of the textures, most of the design work is going to be in the textures, so I'm going to go ahead and apply some of these. I'm going to apply all transformations so that the scale is now correct. And I think we'll start to move on to texturing. So, we'll have to UV unwrap it. See how many. I should select the dot here. See how many. That's what happened. So I didn't want these blocks to be here. What I can do is probably just remove them. Let's do that real quick. Try and remove as many polygons as I... Oh god. So it's the subdivision that's adding a million more polygons than I want. Huh. Interesting. Let's go back. Give me my modifiers back. See, it doesn't show the polygons in doing this, you know, so. Sort of making mark episode, yeah. But a series what they're doing for me. I know. It's Pony Life-esque with the 2D series. Not to say that that's bad. But definitely not as well crafted, I guess, as Maker Mark. Maker Mark seems to be like the new series, even though we've got one episode in the last half a year or so. So we'll see. Let's see where they go. Yee. Yee. Huh. Interesting. What if I applied bevel first and then subdivision? Now we go in and see how many dots we have. We have less dots because I chose a simpler subdivision, which isn't that bad, but it's definitely not as. So I'm going to delete and dissolve vertices, and then see that that destroyed that. Interesting. Let's go to edges and then see if delete dissolve edges. That works. Oops. Let's see, dissolve edge. So what I'm trying to do is just remove as much topology as I can. And just see how really far I can get with some of these. Like, I don't think I'll need all of these vertices. And some of these up here might be fun for getting specific UV texturing. And some down here is gonna get, that's just a little much. Oh boy. Let's see. Is it actually connecting all of these? Huh. Interesting there. Let's go in. Nope. So I'm doing edge selection, so I can click on one face and then say, show me the whole loop of the edge here, and then delete them. So this isn't the most entertaining part of this. And I feel like if I remove as many pieces now. So all I wanted was all the detail in the corners. And I feel like even some of this is a little extreme as well. So I don't need some of these. And just trying to clean up all the different pieces. And the weird part is that none of that actually, you know, those faces that were all over it doesn't actually do anything. Like, because I'm not making this like it's Susie and, you know, kind of like curvy whoop whoop. It's not an S curve because I want it straight. You know, I want it to be a flat shape. So it's like I'm not having all of those extra bits that I deleted. You see, like the profile and actually what I did doesn't actually change. So that's what I don't get, is like you don't need those faces, and I think I have still 7,000 from all the corner ones, but I don't know why I read 3,000 as that many. We could probably go around and like see if I can like remove maybe a few of these. Some of these aren't. It smooths it out, but I feel like it might be a bit much, but maybe we'll keep it for now. I think it'll be good. Either way. Oop, wrong arm. There we go. Apparently my right arm has psychic powers. Hello. Sherlyn. Welcome, welcome. MLP. Hello. Welcome. I'm 3D modeling Pipp's phone. But I think for now I definitely wanna show the other processes of getting this going. So I think I'm gonna go to texturing, which means there's a couple ways we can do this. There's a lot actually to add colors and designs and textures onto it. We could unwrap it and then design it inside of Blender itself. It already unwrapped it, which I probably want to unwrap it again. So I can get some different shapes. Maybe do a cube. Oh, cube projection. Project from view. That's fun. There's unwrap. That does that, but smart unwrap does that. Can I choose a number or so? I feel like we're crashing, so hang on. I think we're good. He was just trying to process it way too hard. We'll just kind of choose something, and then we could always like unwrap a specific, you know, take this one and then say unwrap it please, and then we get a different variation on it. So won't be end all be all by doing that. And we can see just how many fun shapes there are here to make this up. So I probably would spend like another maybe like half an hour cleaning that up and saying like, well, maybe some of these pieces don't do what I want or like are necessary. Especially some of these now. I didn't do any of these. Oh boy. Yeah. By removing these, it technically makes it less smooth, I guess, but at the same time, it's not actually. It's only gonna make the performance a little faster, especially if I'm gonna. The point of this is to put it into a 2D rig, so having this be super expensive looking, weirdness here isn't really gonna help me much. I think for now I can just kind of maybe select. Yeah, so I would probably just go through and try and go through this spider web of messiness here. Already we can see that that's cleaning it up. Apparently that's not gonna happen. Let's go here, dissolve vertices. Some of those might be necessary. My main problem just right now is that I'm trying to go fairly quickly. Now my keyboard's not in the most optimal place. So I guess my microphone is directly in front of my keyboard, so I can't really see what I'm pressing. Usually I'm like looking down somewhat. There we go. Just wanted to fix that weird design there. That was a bit too much. Now we can unwrap it again. There we go. Let's go to bounds. There we go. So several ways to get textures. I know, I've been saying this for a while. Again, we can do this inside of Blender and then add a new texture and then design it inside of there. But the way that I've been doing it with the Derpy movie is that I've been using the raw assets from the 2D side of my animation, where all the 2D characters and some props are 2D elements. So I use Flash, Animate, Adobe Animate. So swap over to here and now pick up my pen and I can start drawing and go from here. So usually let's just make, at least I know how to use Flash a little better. It should hopefully not speak too soon because Flash is also fairly unpredictable. It's known to crash, and especially having 4 or 5 different applications open at the same time is not probably also helping. I don't think we'll need these anymore, so let's take these off. Actually good. Water break's also pretty good too. Let's do that. As now we're transitioning into 2D mode. Okay. So what I want is I want a square. So I'm trying to design it so that I have enough space, like real estate, you know, like if you have a bigger property, then that's means, but I don't know where we're going with that, but basically that I want to have things with the most detail are going to be the biggest in literal size. So I'm going to use direct green so I can have this be a green screen. So what I'm going to use is have the front screen. I'm going to replace it with a green screen and then I can put whatever design I want on there. But if I want to have a specific design, I can still use this same UV texture and then replace it with whatever I want. So yeah. I'm gonna get the pictures out. So we got the back and got the side and we got the front. So I'm gonna replace this screen with that. I'm just gonna put this off to my side right now. And what I like is to make squares or something. Let's go with, I guess it'd be easier for you guys to maybe understand is if it's kind of relative to the actual size of everything. Let's kind of squish these down. So I don't really need too much real estate for some of these. But we'll need, so we need a front screen, side, back, other side, maybe top, and then bottom. So what we can do is also kind of take these guys and then we can remove the amount of space that we need and save some space by putting these maybe at the bottom. Kind of rearrange some of these. So that they all kind of fit. So we'll get that, and then we'll get, I want the heart. I want that to have a lot of detail. So I'm going to have that be a large amount of space there. And then I'll have my palettes, where I like to have just specific whole bunch of like gradient color palettes for a couple different colors that I'll need. Notice this isn't gonna make sense until it probably won't make sense until like I actually start to put them into 3D, but hopefully let me know if you have questions and I'll try to explain anything as I go along, but most of it is just gonna look weird until I really start going. Okay, so we got the green screen, that's taken care of, and then we'll have the heart, so we can make some sort of, look at my other, so it's gonna be this nice, there we go, nice gold heart. This is where the very persnickety drawing kind of comes in. Let's see if I can draw it the other way. Hearts are hard. They're very like, I could just get a nice drawing there, duplicate it, flip it, and say, whoops, got a heart. Way ahead of you, Cookie. Thank you. Can't color it. Ah. Wait, what? Oh yeah, because it's not connected. Beep. Remove. I'm also doing these fairly fast, but Flash is not really giving me benefit of the doubt here. I just want to select some of these dots and then remove them. So it's deleting the whole thing because it thinks that I'm trying to select the entire object when I'm just trying to select one tiny little dot, or maybe it thinks that by deleting it, it deletes the whole shape. You get a nice fat heart. We can smooth it out, straighten it. So we have less point geometry now. Okay. What do we want? We want to make, let's make colors. Let's make some nice palette so I can see on my left monitor. Let's see about what color this is. This background is almost brown. Probably won't be able to see this as detailed as this, but if we need it to be part of the story or something, then it's good to have it. So we'll just kind of center it. So we'll have that. I've also noticed and like learned that with UV editing, you probably want to have it be, want to have a lot more dead space, so that when you want to like have, when you get your UV polygons, that there's actually more space around it to help with the bleeding, so you can go over it a little bit better. What I can do is make this stroke a little thick, and then make this the gold. It's more orangey. Okay. So that's 1 bit. Okay. Let's see. Let's have this be the same kind of color as this, but maybe like super. It's pretty much gray. I think for all these. And then we'll add the textures onto it. So let's see if I can make these just a little wider. It's all about proportions. It's like, how big do you need these things? And then try to fill them out so that they're all fairly evenly spaced. Because the more, again, space in physical space that they are, the more in detail it'll be. Okay. So we'll color these. This color. So we got this cream color now. I think I'm missing another. I need another one of these actually, so I can actually have the border. Yeah. So let's make another one of these, but just make it like maybe, I don't know, a shape like this. How am I doing on time so I can paste this out? Recording for about 1 hour. Okay, so we're actually doing. I want to go through a bunch of different things, so I might have to speed run this just a little bit here. So, new layer, and I want to add some lines. So from the back, let's get something in between this cream and this. Let's make it more yellow. Swap it. Just want to make these lines like that, make a design. So we'll have the circle-y here, and then we'll just have. The original design has like these lines that are like this, that are like emanating. But I feel like it might be easier, so I don't have to actually line them up. Would be to kind of add some. Lines that are just as a decoration that aren't actually going to be part of it. And then we'll have the camera section here. This might have to be real small. This is gonna be dark. So I'll have this be about that, and then let's add some circles that are gonna work as the camera. So they'll be kind of blue. That's the problem, is that they're on the same layer. So I'm going to add a new layer and try to color this back in. It cuts out when there's like 2 layers on the same space. It's like they're like a cookie cutter, like you just kind of squish it in. And so just try to pop them in too much. This is a little lighter. And then we'll have another circle. It's lighter. One in the middle. It's actually darker. And then another circle. This will be the highlight. Because it was the same color, I actually got 18 up. That's camera. Have some nice little lines there. New layer. Get this color. And then on, let's say, this is weird to think about, it's the back. So let's just make some lines this way. And then we'll add the up and down volume, or the power button maybe. Maybe here. See the same color as that. And then kind of divide it into two pieces. This is what I mean, like you can just go super ham on this and try to make this look as nice as you want. Because it's all 2D, it's not like, you know, you're not really messing with the geometry or trying to figure out like what's going on or trying to make each of these look good. You're only really adding more definition into it by making these designs. This is like the power cord maybe, and we can have a headphone jack at the bottom, and maybe another like USB or something at the bottom here. Some sort of hole. And then this will be the top. Let's make a more fun shape at the top. I'll probably change that. I'll probably move these to be more centered. Some sort of more elegant design, the better. Okay. What was this? This is the top front. That's the back, sides, top down. This is like the bevel. So we can have this just be your like line and a curly and another curly. So I can have different shape palettes. So I can have all these different designs that are kind of... So I can use these later if I need somewhere else. I need a shape like this. But this won't be a specific part of it, I guess. So maybe super curly. Might not use it, but at least it'll be there, and that's what's important. Okay, so what I want is to make the palette next. So the last part here, hopefully. And then usually to add like the lighting effects, I like to kind of go through and add different colors. Palettes in case I need an extra color for like, oh, this is the darker part or whatever. I can use these colors and make that. I'm gonna make the gold have different colors. If I can figure out how to get this color. There we go. So we start with a super light version. slightly white, and then slightly darker, slightly darker, and then slightly darker. Then I like to pull the string where I select all the outlines and then delete them. I can probably get away with cover. Decided whether or not to pull the cord on the rest of these, but I think it might actually work somewhat better if I have them still. So I can always go back and retexture these later. Be hard once I put it into Toon Boom though. That's my biggest fear now, is that I won't be able to change the textures too much. But for right now we can save this as a texture, or figure out where we got that. Forgot that it would just do that, so file managing. So let's save it. Controls ref PNG. Yep. So now I'm gonna go into Blender. Gonna go into shading. I'll show what this looks like a little bit later, but I'm just gonna import the picture now into here. Open it. Okay. Let's close some of these. It's the one thing Blender still isn't easy to remove boxes. Okay. So I have to use this. I can turn that off. So we need to give this object a texture. So I'll call it keep it the phone one. So now we're going to play with nodes. So I have the image texture that I added in. This is the same flash picture that we added in. So we get that added in there. Let's turn on alpha. Use the alpha there. And then all these can be turned off. But there we go. So now I can go into UV editing. This is why I wanted to not have a billion polygons, is so I can do this section here faster. Excuse me. So I can see even what we got here. Select this face, and then now just kind of like doing a little matching game. Or just kind of line them up. And so this process actually, for me, takes the longest, because it's like, I have to literally go now through and piece by piece go through and add all the different pieces here. I'm wondering why some of these aren't showing up, so maybe I need to. I feel like my normals or something are backwards, or something's not right. It's possible that there's no... Huh. See how there's no texture there? What's up with that? Oh yeah, gotta turn our 3D glasses back on. Welcome back. I got the texture going, but somebody's... Maybe we'll turn off opacity. There we go. See that one is upside down. So I'll flip it vertically here. This is why it's important to get some. That's why it's important not to have super amount of polygons here. Because I have to go through and like do every single one here. At least I can get the broad strokes, and you can kind of see, like, you probably guys already see like how does this gotta work, where it's just going through and seeing what needs to happen here. So I can select some of these and just kind of put them into the color that I want. And it's okay if they're like small like that, because it doesn't really impact them, because there's no, you know, there's no bump texture, there's no normal texture, there's no alpha texture or anything weird or anything super special going on. I like to have it be very, very flat, so there's no reason to have it be. So now we got I think it's just the texture, it's outlines themselves. There we go. So let's turn some of these into brown again. These are like the edges of it. Put these back there. Okay, so we got the back. And we'll get the top, which I probably need to see how it's like a tilted square over here. Just want to unwrap it again. And so now it's much more uniform. Top is this one. And go in and carefully move these around. There we go. So I got that. I do see. Oh, that's the bevel. So we'll have to play with those. But we'll just get like the main sides here, so you can see. Just got the back. So we'll probably do it on this side. I feel like that's a little tilted, so I'm going to unwrap it again. And you can spend like way more time. I would spend way more time trying to get this to look as nice as possible and make sure that the orientation is also correct. Like if I move this up, then it goes down, so I can flip it, so now that they move in sync. But this is kind of symmetrical, so it doesn't really change it too much. We got that, we got the back. Let's get the bottom. Just in case. You can also tell if it's orientated by if I have a large picture I can see that's correct and that's good. Okay. So I think we got the main sides of it. You can see like how nicely, you know, you go from like this, you know, it's like just a block with nothing, then you add textures and it's like, oh, okay. Yeah, I can see where you're going. See what you got. Let's see. Turn that up. I'm wondering why. Doesn't this look like a different color though? What's up with that? That's there, that's there. See, they're in the same color. Why are they different colors? I move them over here. Might just be like the lighting, but that's distracting. Select everything and see if there's any objects like these that are kind of out there, and then I can kind of just put them off to the side somewhere and then decide what to do with them later. It's the next stream. I'll use my one that's not connected. Happy birthday. Thank you so much. I don't know what to say to that. So, thank you. And hope to see you again next stream. That sounds great. Alright. Because I'm so enamored in this now. So I'm trying to grab all the different pieces that aren't looking like they're part of anything yet. We got this chunky boy here. I think it's made out of, it's all the bevels. That's why I didn't want to have these, because these are not fun to play with. Okay, so I can grab all these boys and squish them. And I think we're gonna just put them onto here. You can kind of see how that's kind of getting like an outline kind of look now. That looks, I'm just impressed by the bottom actually looks really good now. What we can also do is also kind of go back through, and if we super want to, we can go back in and kind of like remodel anything that's maybe like a little bit off, like maybe some of this now can be a little bit larger, kind of lift it up. See where everything is. We make it a little bit larger there. I think it's something like that. Actually pretty happy with that. What do you guys think? You get a whole pretty simple phone. But because we beveled it, it looks a little nicer. It's not a complete square. I'm pretty happy with that. Give it to your horse. Nice. So there we go. I think the only thing I might want to do now is that maybe put these ones up higher, but I can't do that with just the texture I have. So I'll have to go back into Flash and then see what we can do is edit it to fix that. Well, hi, whoop. Actually, we are good. We're in 2D mode. Hi, Marcus. Okay, yeah. My condolences. I'm very sorry. I can put my sad mouth on. I'm serious. I'm sorry. Get really quiet. Okay. Good to see you though. Let's see. What I want to do is grab these bips and let's bring them up towards the top. And then I can make this one will tell. I might want to just get rid of it and then see if there's anything else I want to do. Didn't use this, but I think that's fine. And didn't use that circle bit, but I think that's fine too. So there's a lot of trial and error and going like, well, that didn't work, or maybe this can work better, or let's try to clean some stuff up and see what that does. It's a lot of like making sure everything's good. Okay, so I'm gonna save it. So I'm gonna override the same picture, and because it's fine, it'll work. Go back into Blender, change the source picture into the new one, and because we didn't actually change practically anything really, all the UV pictures still work. But I see that this now should be flipped. So there we go. So now it's more phone-esque, where you got the buttons at the top. Yeah. I'm liking that. And so, yeah, we can either have like a separate picture with a picture for what the phone looks like, but I feel like it's not easier with my method of like putting the green screen, exporting the Toon Boom animation, and then putting that into our Premiere or After Effects, putting the chroma key on the green, getting a separate picture. That's what the phone screen should look like. Add a glow or whatever onto the phone screen so it looks like it's glowy. Perspective, move it, track the perspective, and then see where that goes. Well, I guess for now we could probably just put like a dummy picture, and then if we want to have, we could have like 2 or 3 phones that are like different screen pictures or something, and then that might be more fun. But yeah, for right now, because it is amazing, like with even run-of-the-mill like TV dramas, they still do chroma keying out screens. There was one I remember where it's like they had like a YouTube video of a green screen, and they paused it, but you can still see like the tracker YouTube player at the bottom. So it's like, okay, that's fun. Exactly. We could put whatever we want on it, but I feel like that could be situational. What I'm making is an asset to be used in multiple instances rather than our specific animation we're working on right now. So I would rather be more universal, and so what's more universal than being able to swap it to be whatever we want. Yeah. So we're gonna put this into my base Toon Boom template, and then bring that into the scene, and then I'll essentially have a duplicate copy of it. But I need something that's more generic for right now, and then we can swap it out to be whatever we want later based on the animation circumstances. Because if I choose something like super specific, that's like it's gonna be in every single instance that I put this template phone into, then we'll have that one. So it's like I have to then change it out. So that's my reasoning for that. But speaking of that, let's go to make sure I have everything going here. So I'm going to select the phone, make sure it's in the direct center of this scene, halfway up there. Objects at origin to geometry. See where that kind of flips around. So that looks good. And we'll export it for Toon Boom. Let's see. Watching shirt. Yeah, something like that. Getting up and whatever. There's stern to go to. That's fine. I'll probably end. How long are we going for? We're going for about around 20 minutes. So usually go for 2.5 hours. So still got another whole hour. Half hour of animating, then an hour for toaster time. But let's export this. I'll just show where this button is, and then I'll swap out. So FBX is the universal 3D model. Kind of exporty, kind of it bundles everything together real nicely. But that's what that is. So what I'm gonna do is file manager grun. Export FBX. Yeah, there's okay. Yep, that's everything that I got. Okay. So I'm gonna go into my Toon Boom /PeppPedal/ref. Gonna turn off mesh, scale 1, geometry, smoothing, armature, no animation. It's giving me options of like what I want to include in it. Usually just that. Forward, negative Z up, Y up, apply unit. Maybe. Apply transform. Sure. Export. Okay. So now we go back into Toon Boom after all that. And I'm going to import. I know you can't see it, but I still need to go and open my thingy. So it is import Yeah, there's my browser again, so hang on. Toon Boom, Pipp pedals, not models, refs, FBX, beep. Oh, it's huge. That's fine. Oh, there it is. So you guys can see it. So we're inside the Toon Boom Pipp puppet thing now. So here's the phone. Okay. So we got this is a real 3D object, hopefully. We go to top. Yep, so it has a different perspective up here. So let's go to layer properties. Let's set the scale lock to 0.1. Might need to be 0.1. As it needs to be small enough for her to hold it. Oh, check that out. That needs to be separate. Always wondered about some of this stuff. Oh yeah, enable 3D. That'll allow that. Enable 3D. Maybe we gotta change the. It's been a while. I really, oh, there we go. Really tested it in certain cases. But there we go. Here's the phone. And let me actually move it back so it doesn't actually move off the origin point. We got the phone, and it works in 3D space. Just want to move it over a little bit so I can rotate it like that. We got all this craziness here, and so it's actually really rendering a whole 3D object inside of Toon Boom. And so I can have her kind of hold it maybe. Let's go to a new pose. Let's go to 50. And we get a better pose would be nice. But I think that's not working, so I think I need to work on that a little bit more. There's still a lot of stuff I gotta figure out, but just to focus on the phone. And so we can kind of put it in space. Kind of rotate it. Might need to move it in Z-axis, so I can probably move it from the top view. You can see how it's kind of intersecting with the ground level view here. So I move it forward. I need to move it more than that, just so it's more flat. Rotate. And there we go. Phone. And so if we render it, we get a phone that we can use. So the obviously advantage of this method is that you can rotate it if you need to pose it into any particular angle. You get literally 360 degrees of it that you can play around with. You don't have to try and mathematically figure out like what's the size or anything of it. Disadvantage of using a Toon Boom is that it's kind of, you can see it already has like this lighting engine into it, so I probably want to also have a light or something from the Blender export and maybe add that in, but it works. Probably also want to add like maybe an outline or something. I haven't tried this. Let's see if this works. I don't think outline is a thing. We need to be double up and then Yeah, we need to put this into composite on its own. Put 2 of them in. So it's actually being rendered twice, which probably is not going to be good in the long run. But have one of them have a glow. Trying to drag it. I'm just experimenting with this now to see. So I got some sort of outline with that. Radius. So I get something like that. I can change it to be the color of the phone. I just make it darker. Something like that. But yeah, so it's possible to like make some sort of outline on it. That might work. I think I'm gonna get rid of that because I don't think that was actually working for my interests. So what I want to do is actually say that the disadvantage of like this rotating bip is actually not that easy to understand. If I want to like rotate it, it's like I can't grab it from more than one angle. If I want to rotate it, it's kind of hard to use. If I want to like keyframe it into like very specific, kind of rotates, it's kind of like, eh. So what I want to do is actually make a master controller that actually gives me kind of poses like the head here. Or maybe that doesn't work. I think these master controllers are broken, so that's fun. A lot of this Pipp stuff is not ready yet, so I'll have to work on that. But what I can do is go back in here and make some poses. So I'm just gonna hide Pipp for now, and these for now, and just focus on the phone and get some poses, and then make a master controller so I can actually rotate it with specific poses in mind instead of them being all weird. It's gonna put you in the middle, and what I'll do is get the layer properties. I've done this a couple days ago, so it's possible that this I'll just have to remember what I did from last time. What I want is to add rotational properties in here between the 3 axes here, and rotate it on specific numbers so I can have specific changes that I want. So I probably want to figure out which does which. So I want it to like look up. So that's good. So it's going to be negative 180. So we'll flip all the way around. And then we get positive 180. So we're just flipping it in these spaces. See, the number actually changes. We then put this back to 0, but we flip it on the y-axis. Let's see if that works. Want to flip it on the negative. Yeah, negative 90. Let's go negative 180. And to keep that one still. So now we're going to stay at negative 180 on Y. X, it's going to flip to, let's see, select it. Yep. So we're gonna go to 180 here. And then swap this one to -180. Turn off that. And then swap this to 0, 0. Flip this one to, we swap that to -90, so let's go positive 180. And then we'd swap back to X and say, I want you to be looking up. Yep, so 180 this way. And then one more. Also, this might not work, but hopefully we'll get enough of a rotation that we can actually get something with it. Okay, so I'm going to select this master controller box. I want 9, yes. Let's see, I think they're in order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we'll call this pphone 01. So we're gonna save this as a script. So hang on, I have to make a file. Okay. Whew. Okay. So what we did was make all those poses so that this master controller, that's actually huge. Let's try and make that, actually it's not huge, it's just in the middle of the whole stage. So we got all these poses. What I'm gonna do is add a pack to that phone, to that thing. Select it. What I want to see is the buttons. Go out to here, and then it should see it flipping around. So this is easier in the sense that I can get exact numbers out of this and exact positions. Is that I can go through and say like, hey, I want it to be like a little bit to the, you know, a little bit flatter, but a little bit to the left, okay, you know, and then figure it out. I think some of these numbers are actually a little bit backwards, as I don't think it should be flipping. It should be like this, flip, flip. Now if we go opposite, flip, flip, and then opposite, flip, flip. So I think that's all set up, but I think just in the middle it kind of gets a little confused, because I think it should be looking a little bit more, should be looking flat 90 degrees across the board here, and then a little bit flat this way and this way. But hopefully you get the point that I think I just did the numbers incorrect. They get the point that I can kind of then say I want it to look up and a little bit down without having to deal with the actual rotating buttons here. Because you see, like, I want it to rotate more than 180. I have to like stop because I can't actually move it further than a certain distance away from the circle. Like, I want it to rotate more, but I physically can't rotate it because it's not allowing me to. And it's just really, I'm honestly not that great at manipulating this box itself to like understand like what wants to be flat. I guess it's just not fun. So instead I can have this matrix sort of a thing and then say like I want it to rotate at certain angles, which I think probably excuse me, I think just like rotating it on the actual lines here are probably for the safest best, safe bet. You can kind of get the right angle rather quickly. So I can bring Pipp pedals. She's okay. She's just a little nervous at why is her technology floating. You can grab it. Grab the phone. Let's make it so that they both connect to the same thing. So if I move the phone, then the matrix also move. And then where does she get her pose up? She's ready here. So I can move it into place and then use... Where'd it go? Where's my... Where actually did it go? It says that it's here. And that the dot's here. Whoa, okay. Maybe it shouldn't be connected. Maybe you can't connect them. Within reason. Okay. Let's kind of go here. Want it to be rotated this way. And then we're going to kind of flatten it up. And then see. Yeah, these numbers are not. I'm sure if I did the numbers correct. Which I'm not actually sure at what point. There you go. It's also that I might have messed it up by clicking some of these buttons and rotating it. And some of these are probably overwriting it. Yeah, if I probably like clear these out. I local these and then center those out and then get the phone from the matrix and then see if that works. It's working a little better. Actually, I think it's all wonky. Huh. Well, this is just playing around and seeing like what happens. Kind of just rotate. There you go. So we get something like that. There's still a lot of work in progress. I mean, I don't have... let's turn this off. I have to... I think the master controllers themselves are just not working on their head. As in, like, they're not responding when I move. They are configured. They do have poses and everything set up, but I think just when trying to move these around, I think there's some sort of block there. Same with the mouth and the body. They all should work, but I think there's just something like some node or connection that's not quite on here visually. You can't like go in here and like set it up to work. It's more of a have to like reset and like make the master controller bops here and like redo them and then just kind of remake them. So they work. I half know what I'm doing, and that's more than enough. But yeah, but all these poses are set up so that they can interpolate between each other. And yeah, so what's next is to get the wings, which I made a wing cycle. So there's just sketches right now, so I can go through here and set them up. And I've been working real hard and scratch my brain of like how to get the hair to work. I have different pieces here. You can see them in different colored oranges here. But I'm still trying to figure out how to get from here to like the other side. Is something about this is not correct. I'm still trying to figure out like how to get it so that, because the what do I even call them? The headband and the feathers should be in front of her main. So I somehow had to layer it so that this piece that interpolates from, goes from this position, you know, to like the front to this side has to then look a certain way, but it has to be layered in a certain way as well, but also work with other poses and also look good. And it's like I'm thinking of some ways, but it's still like just haven't had time to really act on it because I've been spending so much trying to make these fold matrices work. Like, check that out. Woo! So I've been busy. So let's see. Let me get some water. Is there any questions about anything? Want me to explain anything with hopefully some clarity? Let me know if you guys have any other comments or anything you want to talk about. So I can show it off. Otherwise, I'll probably work on the wings or something. But yeah, let me get some real water. Ooh. All right. Probably wanna, if there's nothing, I'll probably just end this here. I think that was, I really spent through that whole 3D modeling. Definitely could have spent more time on 2D textures. Probably that I'm not sure how to swap textures inside of Toon Boom, because that'd be cool. I mean, there's not really a way to swap hierarchy, you know, this kind of thing, where this peg, you know, has these noodles that is the parent to these children. So if you move this one, then all three would then move. But if you move this one, then the parent will move. So weird stuff like that. But I would like it to have halfway through an animation, it's connected to the parent, and then halfway it says, I'm not connected anymore, I'm independent. Like that. You had to have it throughout a whole project be connected like that. Or not. It's a boolean of whether or not it's actually connected. So there's weird stuff like that. It's like, you have all this amazing stuff, but also it's like, I want this to happen. And it's like, I don't know how, if that's even possible. Yeah. Let's see. And yeah. And it's like swapping materials or textures. Doesn't seem to be a thing. There's this drawing substitute, but whenever I try to like duplicate drawing, it says there's no drawings available in the current selection, and it's like, but what is this then? Does this exist in the X sheets? I think it's just giving me all the formulas. Oh, there it is. So it thinks it's a thing. Like I can go down and then, nope. I can make the thing is that I can make a new picture or a new drawing, but because it creates a new one, there's nothing for it to be here. And I guess I can like try to import a, because if you do an image, then it just does like a PNG, but if you do a 3D model, then it does the whole FBX of like the whole container of like the model and the texture as one complete unit. So, because what I like to do is, for the movie, I've been animating in Flash and then exporting each individual frame of each character. Like for this, I would have like just Pipp in her animation be a PNG, and then put that into Blender, put it as a flat, and then have that run. So it's actually changing the material texture of the 3D mesh every frame. And so it's like, I want something like that inside of Toon Boom where I can change the texture so that I can animate. Because there's a lot of crazy stuff that you can do with like changing textures that it can have. If you want something more realistic, you can have you know, noise and bump and albedo and other Italian sounding words, bibidabello, you know, and it's like you add those in, and then you can animate those. We could have like a water ripple. You can have procedurally generated ripples, and then those aren't exactly made by a human, isn't exactly putting in those exact drawings. Like, you're not making a texture sheet like this. It's like actually trying to figure out like it can add a whole bunch of stuff like noise texture into the factor here. See if that works. That doesn't. Turn this off. It gets complicated pretty quickly. I would like to grab it. So noise structure is able to create this kind of rainbow effect, and I can scale it down so maybe you can see it better. I don't know how the YouTube compression is going on that. Distortion it a little bit. And then I can add a driver. Hashtag frame divided by 200. And then let's see if over time does that. Maybe you have to like, I think you have to not have a driver and then just add in. Yeah, there you go. There we go. I gotta put on my 3D glasses and then say, hello. Hi cartoons, welcome. It's good to see you. So, you get something like this, where it's just wrapping around the whole object, but you can add more and more fun stuff. Or maybe it rotates over time as well, or then you can get this distortion effect. So hashtag frame divided by 200, and so over time, there you go. Let's kind of slow that down. Maybe make it about the same. So it's like over time it's changing. So it's rotating and sliding to the left. But it's like, wouldn't it be cool if you can put stuff like this into Toon Boom? You know, I guess this is obviously a super specific Blender thing, and Toon Boom is actually made for, or more closely related to, like Maya. So I'm actually not familiar with Maya enough to know if stuff like this even exists. But look how cool this is. It's like that it took like no effort really on my part to be able to add this in. But you get this really trippy, like, whoa, kind of design. Change how much distortion there is. Yeah, it's kind of like holographic. Yeah. Wow. And you can also like change the colors of this, you know, and then like add a mix shader, like add more effects, like add more and more effects on top of it and everything. But yeah, just being able to like keyframe, essentially, it's like these drivers are setting up, you know, what's the frame number, and then divided by 500 instead of actually go slower. Because if you change it to just be, I don't think this is gonna be fun. Yeah, it's not fun. So it goes too quickly. So you gotta like add a math function to make it a little bit slower. But anyway, you can combine this noise texture with, so that's actually turn this off, connect this to here, add a mix shader, put this in between here, use this factor. So now it should be on top of each other. Yeah, look at that. And so you can kind of choose which one gets the most influence. And so you can kind of get like a little bit lower. And so you get this interesting, like, almost waterfall-y shape over it now. I don't know how much that's going. There you go. So you can still get your best of both worlds, where you can get your 2D texture, which I drew, you know, I hand drew all these shapes down here, and then add a procedural noise gradient kind of thing that's kind of going along and being all magical. So, obviously using this in my cartoons might not be the most probably won't fit in with this aesthetic that I'm going for. But it's there. It's there for people that need this kind of style. So obviously I'm probably gonna just do this and call that good. But if you want, yeah. Let's see. I think we'll call it good. This is probably the most entertaining thing I'll probably have for a while. Let's go to total time. I think it's okay now. I think it's okay to take off my 3D glasses now. I think we're safe. Let me try and close, at least minimize those pictures. There we go. Okay. Hi. How we doing? In the description I put like, you know, like what programs are you using today, you know, and it's like, oh, I think I'm gonna use all of them. I have Chrome, I have File Explorer, I have Flash, Character Animator, Toon Boom, Discord, OBS, Blender, two musics, and a picture, all open at the same time, and streaming. So I don't know how well any of that came through while I'm trying to do 60 FPS streaming as well. So I got a relatively new computer, so maybe it's doing better than my last one. So yeah. Let's open something else. Let's open Everfree. Let's see. I'm not sure how much of me you want to see. I got some that aren't me, so maybe that'll work out. So Everfree Northwest is a pony convention. It's in the Seattle area. I guess this is. I could just use this. I think I'm gonna cover you guys up. Guess I could use a separate, whatever. Oh well. Separate element for this, but I'm just gonna see what we got here. Try to move that over. Okay. So, Everfree Northwest, MLP fan convention in Seattle. I didn't think this through of how to get to the next picture. Because I think I have to take this off now. This is one of the banners that they had. It was like a, what do you even call it? Standy. There I am. Hello. I just kind of write on the text down here. Just gotta cherry pick some of these. Just kind of show. I'm sure Little Shy's vlog is a million times better than what I'm trying to do here. Like, look at this tiny picture. This is a view of outside. So, it's actually in Bellevue, which is, like the second year that they did it in Bellevue. But, It's always beautiful. It's always gorgeous. It's always nice. Bellevue is like the second, yeah, Seattle. It's like a smaller Seattle, but just as big. Like, still got like skyscrapers and cranes and people. But it's, I don't know if it's cleaner in like a lot of different senses, but it's definitely much. It feels much nicer to walk around. But it's nice that they moved from Cintiq to Bellevue. I think that was a good change in venue. It did feel, it was on 3 floors, but each floor was kind of honestly a little cramped, but it by having it on 3 floors kind of split everyone up. And they got the grand total of everyone, and there was like over 1,000 people. It was like 1,762 or something. And I was like, heh, those 2 people was probably me and my mom. We went together. You had a good question. Did you meet any voice actors? There was the vendor hall, and basically like off to like one wall, there was like a whole wall of the wall kind of crammed down to the corner, and they were there in the vendor hall, so it's like you can just kind of get there at the right time, which we did, and it's kind of like, oh, you're still looking at the artist alley and the vendor hall, you're kind of like paying attention to those, but it's also like, oh look, there's actually you can like just see them, so it's like that was fun. And at the time, like the blind was huge, so it's like we're good. Like we literally saw them from like a distance, so it was all good. Putting convention still going strong. Yes. Let me show you a different picture so I can talk about that. Whoop. Yep. This is from the 2nd floor balcony looking down. There's some people there. On the right is the big banner. There's people at the white table that when we got there, we were confused because we came from the left side, and so I was like, how do we get the badges? And so there was a nice person that was like, you gotta go upstairs and then way on the other side of the whole building, and then that's where the badges are. And I was like, oh, okay. So maybe we went on the wrong, but it was on the 2nd floor, so there's no way to, anyway. But yeah, we eventually got it, and it was about twice as long as what you see here. So if you like take from the left side to like the balcony and then times that's about as wide as the whole floor. So it's really not as expansive as, especially coming from last BurdenCon 2019 was the one that I went to. That one felt a little more larger. This was basically a hotel, so it's not exactly meant to house a, several thousand, 5,000 plus or anything like that. But definitely was super cozy. Very, a lot of room for people to walk around. You can see your own face in front of you, So, but it didn't feel like no one was there. It was like, oh, there's enough room to walk around. It was nice. You weren't bumping into everyone's shoulder all the time. It was about like this, but maybe like a couple more people at the time too. So, yeah. I was gonna say something about yeah. Because we're in Gen 5, like we're easing into Gen 5. Also, we had some content and cooking knows how much 2D content and all that there is out there now. I would say it's still 80-20, where there's 80% of G4 stuff and then about 15 to 20% of everything that you see. If you looked around how much of Gen 5 there is. So it's still not. It's still unbalanced. Like if you look around, it's like, oh look, there's a G4, or like, oh, it's Deviantart and all the cosplays and everything. But here and there, you'd be like, oh look, an Izzy, wow, that's a cosplay, and oh look, here's a Izzy plush, and it's like, oh cool, you know. So it's still not fully accepted as like, now we're in G5, you know, like in Pokemon, whereas like G5 is like a complete restart from the franchise that's like only had literally the 150 new Unova Pokemon. It's like, okay, now we're in this generation, everything before that doesn't exist. Play with these new ones. Play with the new toys. This is still like, let's play with the old toys, but if you want to have fun with some of the other ones, that's okay too. That's kind of how I felt, like, okay. Not everyone is exactly on board with this, I guess. There's a big fun another picture. Let's see, Rango like 15 years ago. Thank you for a question. Is there anything related to what I'm talking about? Let me know with that. This is the big thing that just kind of just circumstantially just happened. So this is the charity stuff room. Oh, there we go. So it just happened that when we walked in, we were only there for like 4 or 5 hours. So like after lunch, we did like a panel, and then it's like, okay, maybe some free time, you know, don't need to, you know, micromanage us into like doing specific things. It's like, let's look around and see what the other rooms are about. So we walked into like the card room and video game room, popped in there, and it's like, oh look, the charity event. Let's see what fun stuff's there. You know, this was Saturday, so it was like before the charity event was there. So it's like, oh, let's see. And then while we were there, a guy came in with a suitcase and was like, "You won't believe this, man. This is this is worth millions or something." And he got all those the boxes on the left. They're all the Japanese figures that have the Equestrian Girls style figures with a complete, practically set. I think, I'm not sure, and a lot of them were like what is it? Signatured by the voice actors respectively for each character. And then like some of them are like doubled up, and it's like just super amount of just how much value is on that table. That everyone was just like, whoa, like it was like serious. That's like, this is actually more incredible than what you think it is. So it's like, okay, I was like, cool. Look, it's the all I saw was Miku, and I was like, yeah. Let's see, I'll get a closer up, I think. I can use my left arm now. Thank you, real fan. Hope to see you again next week. Thank you. Let's see. This might be the last or so picture I got. Here we go. So I got a close-up of the Hatsune Miku feet, My Little Pony. So that's what he's. I was like, I'm into Vocaloid and music and Miku. So I was like, this is for me, man. It's like, oh. I was like, what if they got Miku's signature? That'd be way more amazing. Because like, you know, they had like the main six and the people that were there, you know, would sign the all different posters and stuff. But yeah, seeing that is I know this for a long time, and I think I don't know if I've made an exact copy of that horse version of Miku, but definitely have done my own parody songs where I did the Ivan Polka and Cinnamon Roll crossover recently, which you should check out on my Twitter. I made like a little animation of the Cinnamon Roll, And yeah, so it surprised me. I was like, okay. Like I've never obviously seen this in person. I don't have this, but it's like, but what if I did? um, I don't know. When I looked at it, when I actually did look at it, I was like, kind of like, quality's not as amazing as I thought it was. Oh, I can zoom. I can barely see her Miku head. I felt like it was not really cheap looking, but it's just kind of like not as felt matte, I guess, not as shiny. I guess it could be. I don't know how she stands. I was like, this is the best part. This is highlight of the day, because apparently, me and Miku's, birthday, whatever you want to really celebrate on it, is like less than a week between each other. Then my birthday is 27, and then Miku's the 31. So it's like, oh, we're close. Yeah. I think these other pictures that I have family in it, so it's like I don't want to share that, but and me. We went to a couple different panels, and they were really fun. Talked with because I worked on Midnight Mirrors for a couple years, and I actually picked out from the entries. I actually picked out some. I guess I can move over here. I picked out some storyboard artists to storyboard the Midnight Mirrors animation, and I guess his name is in the credits. So Andrew, thank you so much for your hard work on that. He storyboarded like almost like a third of the whole pilot, and a lot of the backgrounds and designs and props. So along with other people who worked on it, they were able to storyboard a whole like 26-minute worth of storyboards and beautiful art. And if you haven't checked it out, check out the Midnight Mirrors pilot. 5 minutes, first 5 minutes or so. We're gonna I guess I'm sort of like disbanded from it, but there's gonna be a new panel in October for Pony Fest Con, whatever it is. I think it's a new one, where Chris Gann, the director, and he invited the voice actors to do some sort of table read or do some event. So that's coming up. I don't know how to feel about that he hasn't invited us as the animation department yet, but that's how he rolls. He likes to announce things on Twitter and YouTube. Not on Twitter. He's only on YouTube. I looked at my phone and I saw some Twitter stuff. Yeah, and so he had this post on YouTube where he's like, "We're gonna do a thing. Please come. We're doing a convention. Here we go." And then like a day later, he's like, "Hey, voice actors, do you guys want to come? Like, where you guys from?" Pony Expo, PONI Expo, October 7th and 9th. Yeah. Just you can check it on his official YouTube. I guess I can copy this for you, so you can, if you want to read it. You can see the rest of the channel too. But he's excited to announce that we're going to Pony Expo. Who's coming? Maybe like one person out of 38 people that surveyed there. So it's in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm only really talking about it just because like this is weird news to me. That's like, oh, okay. But I guess if you guys are interested in have some work I think this was Antoine's work with the storyboard. Because I guess Chris now has access to the entire pilot's worth of storyboards. So he just kind of just picked a couple out and said like, ah, share that out. I know exactly what scene this is. Because I worked with the entire pilot, so I know the entire story. So, yeah. Won't tell you anything, NDA, but I guess I'm not really part of it, so I don't know anymore. But yeah, that's what's going on, and like all these kind of like half tangent stuff. So anyway, at Everfree, I was able to meet with Andrew at the convention. I was able to talk with him, and had a nice grand conversation, and I was able to introduce us like, hey, you know, I'm the Mid-Ameris, you know, animator, and he's like, oh, Yoshi, all right. Introduced. It's like, yeah, we haven't met face to face. You know, we don't really know each other's faces. That was fun to figure that out. But yeah, we had a nice talk about you know, like the Mid-Ameris of just what Chris is doing, and it's yeah. And at the time we didn't know, because he had the announcement to the announcement post. I'm excited to announce that Mid-Ameris will be making an appearance at it. Oh yeah, that's actually the later one. His first one was actually, some big announcements are coming this weekend. So please make sure to click the notification bell if you haven't already. The pilot is still in development, but as I shared before on the live stream, the work is still being self-funded. That means animating is going to take a lot longer time than mainstream cartoons. Yeah, that he's been... the director has been self-funding it on his own. He had that Kickstarter like almost 10 years ago now. But apparently that might have just been to get development costs, you know, from the ground up going and get some comics going. But yeah, he has all these huge grand ideas for everything. He's like, I want to get the pilot and, you know, sell that out to any big streaming sites that might want to pick it up. You know, it's here for you. Look at this horse show that's completely original, and he always says like, this is a good original story, original characters, please don't steal, but also please don't sue me. Because they're just like slightly taller ponies. They have like longer legs. That's about it. They don't have cutie marks, but they have alternate personalities between like different worlds and portals and other craziness, stuff like that, where yeah, it doesn't really get dark, but just like cartoon kind of fun dark, where it's like, ooh, it's nighttime. That's as far dark as it gets. The rest of the series takes a different turn. Probably stop it from talking too much from there, but yeah, I don't know if you guys want to get too comfortable with these characters. Because they keep changing, so you know, between the Night Nod and Terrorsteed are like Equestria, and like Nighttime Equestria, where it's like Luna's dream world kind of style. But yeah, the overall concept is that a mom, or I guess not really a mom, just like a goddess, horse, Daybreak, who controls the day, and then accidentally kills Nightmare Moon's, no, what's her name? Oh no. Oh my god. Oh no. I actually blanking because I'm actually stuck on Nightmare Moon now. Nightfall. Okay, I just went to the website. Nightfall. Parents get killed off, and then Daybreak is like, I'll take care of you. Let me take you in. And then Daybreak and Nightfall then kind of like take over between like the day and nighttime, Stop me when it sounds close to pony. And then there's like blended realities. And then yeah, these horses. There's a lot of characters, but there's like some main characters, but then they added like 3 bullies, which I think are in the trailer. Yeah. And then they're somewhat important, but I don't know. It seemed like they're just expanding the cast to kind of cover so they can have more characters and more plushes and more comics and more stuff to sell. So it's all for the end game, yeah. So yeah. Trying to like it if you want to. It's yeah. It's had some trouble developments, but being able to beat and Andrew at the convention was really fun. That was probably one of my highlights of the whole convention. If you guys had a a thing like, oh well, what was your favorite part? It would probably be that. I also have a picture which I don't think I put on Google Drive yet. Let me see if I can. Want me to quickly share this onto my. Let's see if I can edit this real quick. I'm gonna. Oh, now it wants to do an update. Ah, no, stop. Just want to rotate it. Save it. And then I'm gonna share this to my email, to Yoshi email, because it's stuck on my phone. So now I have to open Gmail. This will be worth it. It's all gonna be worth it. Hang on. And then I get the picture. Now on my computer, I would like to save this onto my computer. Sean folder. Open photo. Boom. Okay. So at the Everfree there was a nice little on the upper floor, like where the balcony picture that I had, there was a nice set of tables. Unfortunately all the restaurants were closed, so it was like everyone was kind of forced to go to Wendy's and other places, fast food and everything that was kind of near there. But when we sat down to eat, there was a nice table, and then there was this rug, and this is still at the hotel, but yeah. I think someone else like shared this, was like I noticed it without their post, so yeah, some of them kind of look a little different, but that was the one that was like, that's the best one looking. So I had a good time. But it's like I was with my mom, and like we were eating sandwiches, and we brought lunch. I brought my own lunch just in case. And I was like, let's just eat my own lunch, and I was just looking down. It's like, oh, can't escape it. It's even red. Oh man, so that was super fun. I think here's another one, but it's like it's kind of not as complete as this one, I guess. But I think we'll end it here. This is probably a high enough note to end on. Oh boy. So let me take it down. I can make myself look big. All right. There we go. Well, I hope this was fun. So I guess in the next couple streams we'll work on I'll probably work on Pipp's Toon Moon puppet on my own, and then hopefully by next week she'll be done, and then I can, excuse me, import everything into the Toon Boom project, the animation short, and then we should be good to go from there. And then we'll have practically every asset. I think I've showed the new backgrounds, or the updated backgrounds. I spent some time in like trying to clean up the original ones that were on the stream. There's like some of the aspects were like kind of crusty, so I cleaned them up so they look a little nicer. So yeah, I think we'll have just about everything we need to then complete the animation. Once we get Pipp and then get the phone in, I'll have to flip around some of the numbers. It's you see how easy it is, kind of like get some of those kind of confusing of inputting those in, but I think it's actually kind of close, but I think it's just trying to interpolate between the two, like the in-between squares, they kind of get confused. Regardless, we'll continue with this short for the next couple weeks or so. I'll see how much I can also get done between streams as well, so that you guys can you only need to watch like a couple hours of the stream, and then I'll work on it on my own time, and then because I think there's only like 2 shots that aren't really character animated yet, and then we'll probably have maybe like 2 or 3 more streams or so. Maybe like do 1 stream of Pipp and the Zips introduction, and then 1 stream of the ending shots, and then maybe if we need another cleanup or just to show like anything else I wanted to show on it, that'd be another stream. So maybe like 2 or 3 more. So be near the end of September then, and then after that we'll see where we go from there. So that's the plan I got right now. But yeah, I think we're getting there. It's just hard because there's just so many different moving pieces to everything. As like has to, and I like creating everything from scratch. So it just takes a while. Especially with the Derpy movie, it's like I have to go in and like create every single asset and then say that didn't work, let me recreate it, let me clean it up, let me clean it up again, and because I get very persnickety, very like specific, and like I want it to look a certain way, so it's like if it doesn't look exactly how I envisioned it, then it's like I have to keep going and keep testing it out and learn new things, and it just, yeah, so it's taking a while. But also my job is probably also a big factor in why things are slowing down. So yeah, I can't really work, per day. I lose 8 hours of work time per weekday. So I think I'll sign off and take a break and see if I can animate a little bit more. Clean up everything that I need to do. So keep working, keep going, and have a nice Labor Day Monday, and see if I can get a good days of progress on there. So it never ends, but it's kind of have to, so I can get things going and rolling, So thank you, Cookie. But yeah, thank you guys so much. Yeah, tune in next week. We'll continue with this. We'll continue with all of the stuff. We'll get there. Thank you. I'll be able to do it. Thank you. Alright. See you guys. Bye bye.